Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my 2019 bullet journal flip through. So I'm going to be flipping through all the spreads that I have created this year and showing them all to you. If you guys are interested in watching my 2018 bullet journal flip through, I will make sure to link that in the description for you. And also if you hear any sounds in the background, that is my cat. So I think that's it for now. Let's get on with the flip through. So I'm not going to be talking about every page because then this video would literally be like 2 hours long. So I'm just going to talk about some of my favorites or some things that I like about it or don't like about my bullet journal for this year. Here is the start of 2019. I did this cute little watercolor over here. And I have all of my calendars. Next year I'm definitely going to do where I have a little bit more horizontal space. The vertical space is nice, but I find that all of the events are a little bit squished. Here's my expense tracker, a books read page, and a videos made page. As you can see, I haven't read very many books this year. And here is January. I did this blue, wintry type theme for it, and I really like how this watercolor turned out. Here's my goals and highlights section and my expense tracker. And towards the beginning of 2019, I was doing lots of line a day spreads, or at least every month, and I haven't done that in a while, or even a habit tracker for that matter, just to make things a lot simpler. This spread is a lot different than lots of my other ones, considering that I didn't use any photos that I printed from Pinterest. Probably, I don't really know the reasoning behind it. I really like how this one turned out with the January in the middle. And here is February. So for February I did a pink theme, which is kind of inevitable. I feel like that happens every year for me in my bullet journal setups, so maybe I'll change that up this year, we'll see. Here is my calendar. I really like all of these doodles that I did with the black and white florals. I also made some stickers out of them, and then I also have lots of Pinterest photos. And here is just a master to-do list. Every once in a while I have a page that isn't really one of my weekly spreads. This one I included some watercolor on the bottom. And here is March. I also really like this cover page. I feel like I'm going to keep on saying that, but this one is really pretty. And for this theme I did a bunch of naturey colors, so I have some browns and greens and grays. And for this month I did a half calendar, which I don't really like. I think it looks pretty, but it's not very practical. Here I used a stamp, which is a little bit different. Also I used some newspaper in here, which is another different change. This one is probably one of my all-time favorite weekly spreads. I really like the font of it and also this little watercolor detail on the top and my to-do list in a different scrapbooking color. And that concludes March. So next we have April, which I did a yellow theme. So I did this pretty little bike watercolor in front of a window. Here I did the same type of calendar layout, which I probably won't do again unless I have like really no events for the month, but it's not very practical. And I also used this like tissue paper type stuff for some of the details in this month. Also, I made a bunch of lemon stickers, which I think is really cute. I really like the font for this one with the gray doodles on the outside of it. I feel like lots of these April ones look very similar to each other. Oh, this one is a bit of a change. I really like this setup. I think that the vertical gives me lots of space, but I guess the only downside is that you might have to double up on the lines using for each to-do list or event. Here we have May, which I'm not really a fan of how this watercolor turned out. I think that the sides of the little garden shed don't look very shed-like. They look more watercolory, but that's okay. Here is my May spread. Mood tracker and habit tracker. I did this pastel green and blue theme. I have my expense tracker and goals and highlights. I did this in a silver marker. I guess it's kind of difficult to see some of these spreads just because of how light they are, because I used a gray marker on here. This one is really pretty. I like this little circle that I included with the silver washi tape. And now we are on to June. So for June, I have a orange and red theme. I did this little carousel watercolor just because I think June is the perfect month for that. This was a more of a difficult watercolor and I'm not crazy happy about how it turned out. Here I did a little bit of a different layout for my goals and highlights and expense tracker just to change things up. I like how retro and colorful this spread looks. This one I changed the color scheme up a little bit. I think I got a new marker, which is why I wanted to test it out. But this one is a little different from the more yellowy orange type of spread. And here we are at July, and I did a purple theme, and I did a mermaid tail because I think July is the perfect time to do a mermaid theme, which is a theme that I was wanting to do for a super long time, so I thought it was well suited. Here is my calendar, goals and highlights and expense tracker. I guess I started line a day and I didn't really finish it. I think this one is really pretty with the gray floral designs. I did this with a fine Tombow marker, and also the purple scrapbooking paper is a nice touch as well. And here is August. I really like this cover page. I think it's really different compared to some of my other ones. It's more abstract, and to be honest, I'm pretty sure I was just really short on time, which is why I didn't do a more realistic one. But overall, I really like how this whole month turned out, just because this color scheme is so pretty. And August isn't very long because I was gone for most of it and I didn't bullet journal during that time. So these are just the only 2 weekly spreads I have. And on to September. So in September school started, so I needed a lot more functional spreads with lots more space to make to-do lists. So I just have an events and a to-do list section on this calendar. I feel like my goals, highlights, and expense little spread setup is always the same from month to month, so maybe my goal for 2020 will be to switch that up. I really like this color scheme with a tan and then also the gray drop shadow on the September part. This one is also super cute. And here is October, where I did a pumpkin and like traditional fall themed thing. So here is my calendar. I made a lot of space on this, so I had lots of room to write in events. And I also did a gold marker on top of a photograph that I printed out, but I guess it's starting to rub off a little bit. This one I definitely chose a more orange type of theme compared to this one, where I did a more of a burnt brown color. I think this one is probably one of my all-time favorite ones of the year. I like how structured it is, and also the long to-do list just look really aesthetically pleasing. But this one is also really cute. I think like October has some of the best weekly spreads in my opinion, but you guys can let me know which ones are your favorites. And here is November, where I attempted to do a cloud theme that kind of failed, but we're just going to ignore that. Here is my calendar. Oh, I guess over here I changed up my goals and highlights setup so it's vertical instead of horizontal. I like this font for the days of the week. I think that's really cute. And as you can see, I don't fill in my bullet journal every day. For example, on this Friday, I didn't write anything in there. This one's really cute. Sometimes I like doing my to-do lists and events in a different color just to change things up. So for example, this one I did in gray. And here we are at the last month. So now both my cats are in my room, so if you hear any bells, then that's what it is. So they're just hanging out over there. Here is December, which is the last month. I really like how this cover page turned out, which was my most recent plan with me. Here is my December calendar. I have a goals and highlights and to-do list on this page. Here's my first December weekly spread, and this was during a very stressful exam period, so I didn't really use my bullet journal at all because I just didn't have any time to do that. So these are left blank, which is completely fine, and this entire week that's pretty much a write-off. I wrote in my events, but like I didn't really make any to-do lists. And then here I completely switched gears and went to a pink and red type of theme, which I really like how this turned out. I think it looks really cute and vintage with these photos that I printed out. And I also did this for my 2020 bullet journal planning spread. And then here is my this is my last December weekly spread. This one I went back to more of the traditional Christmas colors. Well, I guess just I have red and no green, but not pink. So yeah, that one I haven't filled out yet, so that'll be this upcoming week. And I have a few more spreads in the back, just like some random little photographs that I have added in. I still have quite a few pages that I didn't end up using, which is fine. And I have my washi tapes, shows watched, just some other lists. I have some school stuff, my school schedule, which I think I will mention and kind of take you guys along through that in my 2020 planning video. But for now, that is my entire 2019 bullet journal. So that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you got some inspiration for your own bullet journal. I would love to know which theme for 2019 was your favorite. You can let me know in the comments below. One of my next videos will definitely be my 2020 bullet journal planning video, which will be after Christmas, and then I'll also have my January plan with me and also some more exciting videos to come. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!